Couch playing games, Joe the Show, Baba Sagan, that's our names. You can watch us now or watch us later. It's time for Living Room Gamers. Alright, so the Onslaught DLC for Xbox One Call of Duty Ghosts has been out for about a week now. Did you get it on day one, or are you on the fence about downloading it? Well, here at Living Room Gamers, we went ahead and reviewed it for you so you could watch it and make your choice. Okay, so as part of the Onslaught DLC map, you get the Maverick Sniper Rifle. Now, I don't know if you can exactly call it a sniper rifle, because it's the same Maverick Assault Rifle, just with a sniper rifle kit put on it. Now, the only other attachments I put on this weapon is a silencer and the armor-piercing rounds. So that scope you see in the gun, that's the default scope. It's very much like the tracker sight. And because it was an assault rifle with just a sniper rifle kit put on it, I thought that it would handle very much like a marksman rifle, which I've used before and I find them quite enjoyable. However, in this case, I really think this gun is bad. It just sucks. I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm not a very proficient sniper anyway, but I still expected more out of it. The recoil seems unmanageable, and I just couldn't hit anything. As you can see, I got one hit marker and he didn't go down, even though to me it looked like it hit me in the chest. I don't know, I'm just saying. In the weapon description it says it's deadly from the waist up. Well, obviously not, because he did not die. He ended up getting me instead. So, I've actually used it a couple other times on different maps. So speaking of maps, this is the Bayview map. I'll talk about that more later. But I tried it a couple of times and I seem to just get frustrated with this weapon. I just do not like it. I do not care for it. Maybe in the regular assault rifle variation it's worth using, but at the sniper rifle, I say save time and just shelve it. Here we are, this is Baba Sagan doing the review of the Maverick Assault Rifle. I'm just going to go over a quick few pros and cons I found while playing with this gun. Now, I am using the holographic sight, but if you take the sights off and use the iron sights, they're actually pretty efficient for this gun. They give you a pretty wide field of vision, so if you really wanted to, you could take off a sight, rock the iron sights, and have little difficulty in hitting it. Also, the reload speed on this gun is fairly fast, as you just saw right there. So you can take off your sleight of hand, use those 2 squad points, put them to some other perk that you want to try out. As the reload speed on this gun is fairly fast, and you won't notice too much of it. With the cons with it, the description of the gun is saying it's supposed to have the high velocity bullets, supposed to be very damaging at close range. I didn't really seem to notice that when I'm right in close with somebody. My personal opinion, I felt the real power of the gun is more of the mid-range, a little bit on the long range, but mostly in the mid-range, maybe a little bit closer to mid. Like about the range right there, that's where you see the real power. Super close range, just I didn't feel it in there. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the 4 maps you're going to be getting with this Onslaught DLC. So the first one I want to talk to you guys about is this fog map. And I like it. It seems like the gaming community already likes it. Every time it came up in rotation, it was getting no less than 5 votes, so it's definitely a fan favorite already. Now, as you can see on this map, it is very dark, it is very spooky, so you might want to consider getting your tracker sights out, maybe your thermal scope, so you can pick out your enemies on the map. Because especially your enemies on the map, these guys in the blue, they stand out, but if you run up against a guy who's got that Sasquatch ghillie suit, those guys really blend into the map here. On the other side of that coin too, though, have that ghillie suit and you know you're going to be playing on this map, then definitely put it on so you'll have that advantage. Now all over this map there's these pathways and these tunnels that go underground, so that's why I'm running around with the shotgun, try to stay to those close quartered areas. I've found moderate success in the time I've spent with this map, so I think it's definitely a strategy. Do the same with the submachine gun and also an assault rifle, as assault rifles are an all-around weapon. However, if you're going to try to use a marksman rifle or a sniper rifle, I don't think that's really going to do it on this one. There's not that long a sight line, so you can see further around. You can't really see all that far. Now, there's all these cabins and whatnot. Because of that, maybe camping seems to be more prevalent on this map. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm always fighting guys lying in the dirt, hiding behind couches in those cabins. I don't know why, but camping is way worse on this map than any of you. Now, one thing that could be making this a fan favorite is that Michael Myers kill streak that you see Killer Hobbits just picked up. You get that by completing a field order and getting up out of the care package. So, you kill a guy and you see that he drops a field order, definitely pick it up because your team will steal it from you because everybody wants to be that Hollywood badass, and there he is right there. Now, I think they actually kind of dropped the ball a little bit with the Michael Myers. I mean, look at woods, there's cabins, there's lakes. I think they should have let you be Jason Voorhees instead, because I think way better. Another thing that when you are Michael Myers, you are using an axe to slay your enemies. Yes, he did pick up an axe in Halloween H2O, but generally when you think of Michael Myers, you think of that big kitchen knife, so it'd be more appropriate to give you a machete to use instead. But I think this map is good, it's definitely a lot of fun, so definitely if it comes up, I'd vote for it, and you'll probably end up voting for it too. Alright, moving right along here on our Onslaught DLC review. We got the next map. This is Bayview. It's a seaside town. Maybe supposed to be set in Maine. That's the kind of impression I get. And one cool thing I like to mention right off the bat about this map is you can see there on my radar map in the top left corner that red trolley car. That trolley moves all around the map. You can sit on it and ride on it if you're feeling lazy and don't want to walk around the map on yourself. Or if you just want to try and piss people off by getting shot because they don't see where you're coming from. You're like, oh crap, there was the trolley. Or you could do like I do with that guy up top shooting at me. I'm just going to crouch down in front of it and let it push me out of the way to safety. I was a little disappointed actually though that standing in front of the moving trolley didn't kill you. I thought it should have, so it doesn't stop. But hey, I'll take advantage of that little tactic and save me so I get shot by the other guy. But as far as this map goes, I'm actually a little confused by it. It's a big map that seems small, but it's too big to be played as a small map. What I mean by that is you can see it's a long sight line. So you're like, okay, it's a big map. But then it's got a lot of corridors and walkways, and you're like, oh cool, I could play this like a small map, which is why I got my shotgun out right now. But it wasn't too effective for me, so I think you're better off if you're going to be playing on Bayview. Go with the assault rifle. I think that's going to be your best overall weapon for everything this map has to offer. Or you could even post up with a sniper rifle or a marksman rifle. I'm pretty sure you should be able to have decent success with that. But I do like that there's all these rooms and walls and ladders and everything that you jump over. It makes for interesting kills. I know past gameplays I've been able to jump over a wall, find two guys, and take them out. That's always very satisfying. Overall, I think this is another good, solid map for the DLC. I think it could eventually become a favorite. Much like in the Fog, there is a unique field order to this one. You saw it earlier. It's just a mortar strike, nothing too fancy. If you saw the trailer for the map pack, it says that it's actually being shot off from boats out in the water, but I don't know if you activate it, if it actually shows those boats shooting off their motors or not. Otherwise, it's just missiles striking in the map. But I think it's solid. I think it's worth playing on, and I expect some good competition to come out of this map. Continuing with the review of the maps, this is Containment, one of the brand new maps with the Onslaught DLC. This map has that radioactive truck in the middle. There's that valley right there in the middle of the map where you can go from one place to the other, the stairways on the side. When I was playing here, my biggest tip is look at the roofs and look at the two hallways right on the other side of the bridge. It seems like a lot of people like to be right there on the roofs and the two side hallways. One interesting feature with this map is if you go by that radioactive truck, it'll blur your mini map in the corner. It gives a nice little feel because you actually feel like you're right there by the radioactive. Here I go up on the roof, trying to see what's checking out. If you're playing on this map, be sure to look up here. There's always going to be somebody up on the roof. There you go, see? He didn't look in the roof, and that's how he's going to get killed. Now, there's also all these little tunnels on the side. If I turn around, those little rooms on the side, they have rooms looking out across. Little hallways up there, keep an eye out for those. He's running in for one right now. When you're playing this map, be sure to check all those corners. People are going to be hiding there. Not that big of a map, so all you have to be is right here in this main road. So if you're going down the middle, look side to side like the Gunslingers of the Old West, shoot the guy on the roof, get the guy over hiding behind the bar. The last map of the Onslaught DLC is a rehash of the Modern Warfare 2 Classic Ignition. Now, most of the layout is pretty much the same, except for it added right in the beginning of the match. The fuselage does crash down to add a little texture to the map layout. And another interesting part with this map, if you get that field order completed, you can actually make that shuttle rocket launch off in there. A few different spots, it's called a launch test fire. People will get burned, get a couple kills off of it. I've only been able to do it once when I was playing on this map so far. If you play the Modern Warfare 2, then you pretty much know where people like to hide. Those little fuel cells, there's always one or two guys in there. That building right there in front of me, look in the top left window, there's always a guy camping out right there. Also on the right side of where I am, that's where the test engine is. There's always a dude crouched down in that little stairwell. Keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye on those spots. See right there on the left, that's where the guy likes to be. A little circle area, there's always a guy who likes to hide right there too. Keep that in mind when you're running around the map or if you're in your camping spot. Check those spots, pick up those easy kills.
So there was the review of that Onslaught DLC. If you'd like to go out and pick it up for $15. And you know, we're out there playing almost every day, so if you see us out there on the battlefield, give us a shout out. So I'm Joe the Show, and I'm Baba Sagan Kita. Keep your controllers charged, and keep on gaming.